Good morning, all of you. Today I'll have to start. Yesterday I have completed the steps of in the process of organization. What are the steps taken that we people have done? Now today we need to study that there are two types of organizations. Okay, there are two types of organization. One is formal organization, one is informal organization. Is it clear? So after knowing the importance of organizing, after knowing the steps in the process of organizing, okay, now we need to study about the types of organization. One is formal. The word formal means something where the rules and regulations are followed. Formal means something which is formed through the legal authority. Okay, so formal organization is the organization which is formed by the management itself, with certain fixed rules and regulations to be followed. Okay, that is called formal organization. Okay, the authority, the management itself form that organization, so that the different departments of the organization can coordinate and cooperate with each other by following the rules and regulations formed under the formal organization, so that the process of organizing can function in a appropriate way. Is it clear? So it is the first thing you need to remember, that formal organization is formed by the management itself. The management itself forms. All right, why the management is forming this organization, which is called formal organization? To fulfill the goals or the target. They have certain organizational goals, they have certain managerial goals. To achieve those managerial goals, to achieve those organizational goals, the formal organization is formed with certain rules and regulation. That is called formal organization. Now, what is informal organization? Informal organization is derived from formal organization. Now, how? Many employees are there in the organization, and those employees are coordinated in such a way that by looking into their common activities, they have made several departments. So every day these employees go to the working place, they meet and interact with each other, they have to deal with each other, they have to cooperate while dealing with each other under the formal organization. They develop a friendship with each other. These employees develop a friendship with each other. They start doing partying together. They start going for the outing together. They start coming to each other's family. All right, they start doing the social gathering. Okay, so those members who are the part of the formal organization, who follows the rules and regulation made by the management, made apart from their formal organization, develop a social contact with each other, develop a social relationship with each other. When they develop that social relationship, then it becomes what? Informal organization. And that informal organization also in a way help to fulfill the managerial goals. How? If the employees will have that informal or friendship with each other, then only they will be able to follow the rules and regulations made under the formal organization. Is it clear? So formal organization is the organizational structure designed and established by the management itself to achieve the organizational goals. But informal organization is the organization which is created in an informal way through a communication with each other, through a social relationship with each other. It has nothing to do with the rules and regulations made by the management. But in a way, it helps to achieve the managerial goals, because until and unless the employees will not have a better contact and relation with each other, friendship with each other, then definitely they will never be able to achieve their organizational goals. I hope you people have understood what is formal organization and what is informal organization. Now open your book, page number 186. First, see the formal organization. Underline first the meaning of formal organization. I'm reading. Formal organization means the organization structure designed and established by management to achieve organizational goal. So the organization which is designed and established by the management itself to achieve the organizational goal is called formal organization. Then it is official, it is not unofficial. Formal organization is official. So continue underlining. It is an official system of clearly defined activities and relationship which are intended to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. Okay, so it is an official system. This official system is defined. It is a defined activity and relationship. It is a defined activity and relationship. Who has given this definition to the activities and relationship? The management. Why given? To fulfill the organizational goals. Is it clear? Now see further. It is an official system of clearly defined activities and relationship which are intended, means whose intention is to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. The intention of this formal organization is to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. So till here is your meaning. So what do you mean by formal organization? The organizational structure designed and established by the management itself to achieve organizational goals is called formal organization. It is an official system of clearly defined activities and relationship whose intention is to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. Till here is your meaning, children, the first paragraph. And then we'll take one definition. Definition is given in the next paragraph by Scott. So underline in the next paragraph, third line. According to Scott, a formal organization is a system of coordinated activities of a group of people working towards a common goal under authority and leadership. Yes, an organization where activities of a group of people working towards a common goal under authority and leadership is called what? Formal. This is the definition. So meaning and definition I gave you. Next, see the basic characteristics of organization. What is the first? Here, number A, it is deliberately created by the top management. Yes, it is deliberately created by the top management. Why top management create this deliberately? So that every employee must work under a fixed rules and regulation with cooperation and coordination with each other. What is the second point? It is based on specialization or division of labor. Obviously, because I told you that organization is something, the first importance of organization is this only, that it leads to specialization. So that is based. So organization is based on specialization, or formal organization is based on specialization and division of labor. What is the third? It defines clearly the authority and responsibility of every individual. Yes, it is formal, it is official. So every individual is responsible of what he is doing. A sense of it clearly defines the authority and responsibility of every. Proper definition is given that what is the responsibility of every individual. That is very important characteristics of formal organization. Next, It is developed through delegation of authority. Yes. What is the meaning of delegation of authority? I have given you. What is the meaning of delegation of authority? Each group is assigned with their exact work. Is it clear? Once you see the delegation of activity, which I have told you people, what? After assignment of duties, appropriate authority is delegated to each. Appropriate authority means each individual will be given some work. That is the meaning of. So this is the important, that it is developed through delegation of authority. Every individual is knowing their work, that what work they have to, whether they have to collect the raw material, or they have to see the transportation, or they have to see the kind of the product, or they have to see the technology. Everything is properly defined. Next, it has written rules and procedure. I have told you that formal organization is formed by the management through a proper rules and regulation. Then it specifies the official lines of communication and official relationship. A definite line of communication is there कि जब भी आप communicate करेंगे with each other, your purpose must be official. तुमको अपने काम के बारे में डिस्कस करना है, ना कि you have to discuss about your personal thing. That is there in case of informal. But here, it totally specifies the official lines of communication and official relationship. Further, next, it focuses on jobs to be performed and not the individual who performs the job. Yes. It is not focusing on the individual. It is focusing on the job which the individual has to do. That is the most important. एक यहाँ पे इंडिविजुअल जरूरी नहीं है, यहाँ पे जरूरी है वो जॉब which is going to be performed by an individual. So individual is important because he has to do the job. Not this that individual जरूरी नहीं है, जो job वो कर रहा है वो जरूरी है. That is the meaning. So it focus in the job to be performed, not on the individual who is performing the job. Next. It is manifested in organization structure and is depicted on the organization chart of the company. Yeah, manifesto. Every company has its manifesto, manifestation. They make their manifesto. In that they have a definite target, goals, and everything is properly mentioned. So, formal organization has its own manifest. It is manifested in organization structure and is depicted on the organization chart of the company. Next, it is created to achieve organization. We know why formal organization is formed by the management, to fulfill their organizational goals, organizational objective. Then the last characteristics, it is consists of structure of jobs and position. Obviously, it consists what? The structure of jobs and position. So what do you mean by formal organization? The organizational structure which is formed by the management to achieve the organizational goals. It is an official system, okay, which clearly defines activities and relationship whose interest is to divide and integrate the activities of the organization. Meaning I told you definition, I told you the characteristics. Now you see the advantage and disadvantage of the formal education. What is the advantage of the formal education? The duties and roles or role of each member is clearly defined. This helps to avoid duplication of effort. No question of duplication of effort. Okay, then unity of command is maintained through the scalar chain. Okay, a scalar chain is there from higher authority to the lower, then to the lowest. A proper scalar chain is there, and each one has to follow the command of their authority. Then it is easy to fix responsibility as mutual relationships are clearly defined. Yeah, because here I told you, individual is not important. Job is, every person is answerable to the job what the person is doing. Is it clear? So that's why a fixed responsibility is there, where mutual relationships are clearly defined. Then next, It provides stability to that. Obviously, if there is a proper rules and regulation, if there is a proper guidelines to every individual, then obviously it tries to maintain the stability in the enterprise, because there will be no management issue, there will be no mismanagement, because the organization will become sound and proper and will work to achieve the objectives. Okay, and the last one, it provides framework for the performance of all the activities. Yeah, a complete framework is there where all the activities need to be performed. Is it clear? Disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? It may create rigidity due to prescribed policy and rules. Yeah, obviously everyone don't like to follow rules and regulation. So kind of the rigidity or kind of the rigid atmosphere can be created when an individual can start working or can start ignoring those rules and regulations. Sometimes it become very rigid, sometimes it become very difficult to follow those rules and regulations. So it may create rigidity due to prescribed policies and rules. Creative talent may not be adequately recognized. Yeah, हम लोग को ये पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि क्रिएटिविटी क्या है, क्योंकि सबको पता है उनकी प्रॉपर लाइन क्या है, उनको क्या काम करना है, उनकी जॉब क्या है, उनको किससे कोऑर्डिनेट करना है, कम्युनिकेट करना है. एवरीथिंग इज क्लियरली डिफाइंड. सो वन इंडिविजुअल्स क्रिएटिविटी इज टोटली सप्रेस, क्योंकि दैट इंडिविजुअल विल नॉट एबल टू थिंक, because he will always follow. So his own imagination somewhere get violated under the formal organization. Then formal communication has to follow the established chain of command. Procedures delays may increase time taken for decision making. Obviously, as I told you, that it's a series of command. Okay, it's a scalar, that's one of the advantage we have studied. No, it's a scalar chain that one from top to bottom, they have to follow the command, which is somewhere is negative. Then due to focus on structure and work, human relationship may not be fully understood. क्योंकि हमेशा उन लोग अपने वर्क को पे फोकस करेंगे, तो एक जो बॉन्डिंग और ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप है वो डेवलप नहीं हो पाएगी. एंड द लास्ट वन, इट डज नॉट प्रोवाइड अ कंप्लीट पिक्चर ऑफ हाउ एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वर्क. इट डज नॉट प्रोवाइड अ कंप्लीट, मीन्स always rules and regulation, how the organization work is actually not provided. That complete picture of how an organization is going to work is not provided under the formal organization. Is it clear? So today I have discussed with you people the meaning of formal organization, definition, their characteristics, advantage and disadvantage. Tomorrow I will do informal organization, meaning, features, advantage and disadvantage. For today only this much. Thank you, children.